Hello everyone, welcome to 3ddesignacademy.com. In this lesson, we'll continue with part 5 of constructing the car project. Okay, so in the previous lesson, we established a simple surface for the roof and the windshield. And now, for this one, I'm going to try to add a fillet between the two. Okay, so from the side view, you'll see that there's this is actually supposed to be a smooth transition, not a hard transition like this one. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a surface fillet in order to estimate the size or how big the fillet should be. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to surface fillet. I'm going to change the mode to tool, G2, and quarter length. And form factor, quarter length, I'm going to actually increase it to, let's say, 200 to start with. And I'm going to leave the form factor at 0.5. I'm going to click on this surface and click on this surface like that, and I'm going to change both to edge align like that. Okay, so it looks like we need to make it a lot bigger because this curve, the curve on this fillet needs to mimic this profile on the canvas. So let's increase it. So I think we need to, let's make it big. So let's start with 500 and see how that looks. Okay, so right now it's kind of hard to see because of all the lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn the lines off by turning the isoparm off. And because we need one line for the center, there are two ways you can do this. You can either project a curve. So I'll just create a curve from here to here, and I'll just project it directly onto the surface. Or you can also have the patch precision on. Maybe that's not a good idea. Okay, so the patch precision, because this is a multi-span surface, I don't think it's going to work. So I'm just going to project a curve and use that to reference the size of the fillet that we need to create. Okay, so if you look at this, still, I think it's matching pretty close, but I still think that it needs to be a little bit bigger. So I'm just going to increase the size. So right now we are at 500, so maybe I'll go to 700. So it's taking a little bit long. Okay, so I think that's a much better fit to the canvas. Now, the only problem is you'll see that the lines are a little bit weird, and you'll also see that the CV structure, there's a lot of span. So it looks like we need to do a little bit of cleanup. Now, however, because it is a point, because we used a 0.5 form factor, this is going to have a very nice transition between the two primaries. But because of the number of spans and how this is going, we are just going to use this as a reference. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete the construction history, and I'm going to untrim both surfaces like that. Okay, so now this is just going to be a size reference for the fillet that we're going to manually put in. I'm just going to delete the curve and surface because we don't need that anymore. And I'm going to do an insert, and I'm going to change the span to curve and surface. I'm just going to drag one like this over here. Now it doesn't need to be exact, it just needs to be close enough. So I'm just going to do somewhere between these two lines like that. And I'm going to be doing the same thing on the roof. So I think this is a pretty good size like that. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing this is because, well, first of all, with the insert tool, you're able to get a very simple curve that exactly follows the surface shape. And because of that, we are able to get a very simple, very low degree, low span surface. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is, because we don't need this anymore, I'm just going to, well, actually, yeah, let's just delete, simply delete. And right now it looks like this surface is in a symmetry layer, so I'm just going to bring that back to the default. Sure, this is in default layer. And I'm just going to do a trim operation. So trim here and trim here. And now I'm going to create a curve between the two. So I'm just going to grab the blend curve like this. and like this over here. Now, and I'm going to use edit here and here. And I'm gonna turn the CV on, and I'm gonna make sure that we are getting close to a G3 continuity. Okay, so this actually these curves are actually bothering me, so I'm just gonna put them in the hidden layer because I don't think we need them anymore. So like that, and I'm gonna turn the symmetry layer off. This also in the hidden layer. Oh, pick the curves. That. Okay, so I think this is pretty good. Like, let's see. Maybe I'll just bring it out just a little bit more. Yeah, maybe something like that. I think maybe the center CVs are a little bit too close. Okay, so there are two things you can do. You can either copy it over, or you can put this in a symmetry layer like this and see. Let's see if square works. So I'm just going to use square. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yep, it looks like it works. 1 needs to be curvature and 3 needs to be curvature. And looks like our transition looks pretty good. You'll see a nice highlight between the two surfaces, and you'll see a nice acceleration towards the end for both. And this is how it should look. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that. So I was just deleting this. I think the transition looks pretty good. And this is how you set up the basic shape for the windshield. Okay, so that's it for part 5. We will continue in the next tutorial, and thank you guys for watching.